What's going on, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I see a couple. I can't hear me, but hopefully y'all can. Let's see. We got Zalek. My back. We got Vet. We got Roster. We got Wit. We got Ambi. I was just talking to Ambi actually. Hopefully everybody's doing well. It feels like forever since I streamed, but it was only last week. I guess it's weird how that happens. Like, it's only been like 1 week, but it feels like a long, long time. Hey, Paul, what's going on? Hey, everyone, how's it going on? Feels like a ton of time. And I don't know, it's been kind of it's been weird. Like, I traveled, like, I am still recovering. I think it's the first time, or maybe it's the second time. Like, usually, like in the United States, like I live on the East Coast, so we gained an hour. Or no. Yeah, we fell back. So we gained an hour. But I traveled and I went to Colorado and I flew out. So I did Halloween here on Friday. And then early Saturday morning, I'm talking like super early. So that already throws me off, right? Because I stayed up a little while for Halloween and then I had to wake up super early Saturday. I flew out and then I get into Colorado. And so that just kind of threw me off because I got to Colorado like at 9, even though it was like really like noon. And then there was another hour change like when I was there because the hour like happened Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then I flew back Monday. So it just kind of like really threw me off. And it's been throwing me off because like I was there through Monday. I didn't get back till early Tuesday morning because of flight delays. Now my flight wasn't like super delayed. Like, if anything, we stayed on the runway a long time. And then, before taking off, which I actually am okay with staying on the runway before I take off. I hate when I'm stuck on the runway as I land. Because you're like, we're right there. Like, you just want to get off the plane. But when you're on the runway before you take off, like, for the most part, for some odd reason, I always go to sleep right as takeoff is happening. It's like always a thing. And so this time, like it was like kind of like a good 30-minute nap, just waiting there. But yeah, so we had, but there was some flight delays. It was like really weird because it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and the airport was packed with people, as if there was like a snowstorm or something. So the flight delays are real. So we did our own. Oh, I heard about that. I think I saw it on my phone. Like this week I was busy. Like I had no time to like I was like on. Like I did a keynote and then I had to like I was on like a panel. Then I had to facilitate a session. Like I was like on the entire weekend talking to college students. And so that was fun. That was rewarding. But it's also like very like in person I'm pretty introverted. Like I have to like I can put on a good show for like, you know, day-to-day interaction because I've just learned to, but when you do it like all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday, like I'm tired. But it was good, you know. That was cool. So we'll see. Did you see our new Orcs Must Die cut? We will be dressed amazing. I didn't. I haven't seen anything. I haven't even been to my Discord. I'm telling y'all, like I got back Tuesday. And then it was already messed up because usually I don't like to travel on Mondays. Like that, so that's just a thing from when I used to travel a ton for work, like as a consultant, and I would always travel like on Sundays. So, and then I like to wake up late. It's just something about not having to be rushed on Mondays for the airport. So like traveling on like a Monday night, Tuesday morning threw me off because then I had to catch up on everything on Monday. And then And then for some reason, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like it's end of year budget time, and end of year budget, end of year annual planning. It's a lot of stuff. And then you have all this other stuff. And so it's just like I'm like behind. I don't know. Like behind. I haven't even gamed. I haven't gamed in like so like the last time I played a video game, goodness. I think it was on the racing stream like a week and a half ago. I haven't even been playing really. I don't know. Oh my god. Did y'all get some in? That's cool. I know we're gonna talk about that, Paul. We're gonna talk about that. Y'all are jumping ahead of my show. Y'all are jumping ahead. Y'all are jumping ahead. Y'all should be like, Purple, if you started on time, we wouldn't have to jump ahead. I hear you. I hear you. I'm just, I'm just, I'm just like, I'm just like still. I mean, this is, um, I don't know. This week was like, I felt old. Like, not only because I was like talking to like college students, and they were like roughly from ages, I shouldn't say that. They're roughly like 22 to 26-year-olds. Um, Mainly, let's say average age 20, 20, 22. And so you're like talking to them and they're like, what was it like 20, 30 years ago? And you realize like how long it's been. And then I had like physical therapy, which that's always an interesting experience. Cause like I do it at the VA. And like they're like some really old people, but like the things that they have me do, it's like, oh, like my bones are popping and cracking. And then you throw in a time zone change and like airplane. Like I feel old. I feel old. Like I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I got a lot of miles. Got a lot of miles. You need some gaming time. It's good for letting stress out. I'm not sure if I'm stressed. I'm not sure if I'm stressed. I think I have like 2 more weeks of like just jump out of like to do thing like where people are asking me to do a lot of stuff. And then it starts to slow down. Um especially now. Like I don't know. So but yeah, I wouldn't say like I'm stressed as much as it's like I'm tired. I don't know if that makes sense. Some of y'all would be like, well, Purple, that's how it feels like to have kids. Like right now, there's a lot of people, like not really like a lot of people might, like they're having like, they're not like grandkids yet. No one's having grandkids with my group. But a lot of like the mid 30s to late 30s, like they're having kids right now. And they look tired. Like that's the one thing. They look tired. I just sound tired. They like look tired. But they're like physically tired. Like for me, I think I'm like spiritually and emotionally tired. I think that's what I would say. I'm like spiritually and emotionally tired. You have a physical therapy thanks to Neos Pharmaceuticals Technology. GG, good vibes. Hey, what's going on, Neos? What's going on? Neos Pharmaceuticals? What does that have to do with physical therapy? That does sound like a physical, like that does sound a pharmaceutical, like Neos Pharmaceuticals. Side effects include light dizziness, nausea, vomiting, sometimes heart attack and death. The shade. What? Me too. All my friends' kids look exhausted. They do. Like, so for our Halloween, I think I said like, not this last Sunday, but the Sunday before last, I had a Halloween party, like a neighborhood Halloween party. Hey Crow, what's going on? And I say neighborhood, it's like a neighbor, like the neighbors, not the entire neighborhood, just like 5 or 6 houses, a neighbors. And they came and there's like a couple across she's like also somewhat older, like mid to late, 40s type of age, but she has kids. She had kids late. And she she's super cool. She has like her own like clothing label. Like she's like a fashion designer and she's like does a lot of stuff. Anyway, she has 2 sons. And so it's like she came and she just looked so tired and worn out. And so my mom was there and I was like, "Mom, should I have like kids? Like should I continue? Like should I do that?" And she's like, "If you ever want to know what it's like having kids, just think about Anna." Because she looks so like out of it. And she like did herself up, like she was like in a jovial mode, but you could tell like she was just out of it. So like I think like even though internally I feel like emotionally, spiritually tired, she I think is all of that and physically tired. So that's my thing. Yeah, Zay, like they do. Nah, don't lie. Nintendo's stressing you. No, actually, I got good news for Nintendo. I got good. Nintendo is not. Nintendo's made me a lot of money. That's a true story. All right, let's start with a trailer. We don't normally start with trailers. We start with like some news, but I want to start with a trailer. And since Paul already mentioned it, I don't think it's like ruining the mood. So let's do it. Let's do it. Here we go.
You ready to race? Here we go. My kind of party. No chance. Get a load of this. Move aside. None will stand in my way. Effortless.
So that is Sonic Crossroads. I think that's what it's called, right? Sonic Crossroads. Sonic Racing Crossroads. Excuse me. It is getting its own Switch 2. What do we call that? Switch 2 upgrade. I'm actually looking forward to this because the last stream we did Sonic. The last stream I did Sonic Crossroads, and then we went to Mario Kart World, and it was actually somewhat jarring because of how big of the graphic fidelity is. I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, Mario Kart's like a PS2 or PS3 game." It's really not. Like that stream, I don't know if I even said it on stream, but that stream, like it was just really weird because like Sonic Crossroads on Switch or the Switch version of the game is like really not sharp. But when I look at that trailer and if that's the graphics we're gonna get on Switch 2, obviously if you have PlayStation or Xbox or PC or whatever, you've already had it. That should be like it'll be better to go from one to the other. Like I don't know why like Mario Kart Deluxe to Mario Kart World isn't as much of a contrast, but that Sonic Racing Switch version to Mario Kart World was like a huge jump. So I'm excited about it, and it's $10. So the upgrade's $10. Um, I'll I'll probably buy it. Like, definitely. Like, I think that's worth it. Also, day one asking for there's a reason moms love a wine. That's because they're drunks. No, joking. I did have in May. Is it May? It had to be May. Or, it was maybe June, the first week of June. I went out with a couple of my friends, and they're all moms, all have like 2 to 4 kids, and they were like, I, it was like a wine date type of deal, and yeah, they couldn't wait to get away. I couldn't wait to get. I like they're my friends, but I was like, y'all, I'm tired. So we'll see. What's the difference between the first on the regular Switch? It's the graphics. That's the graphics. I'll do you one better. Mario Kart World looks like an N64 game. Niels, here's the thing. Like, I can't take you serious anytime you mention something before you were alive. I just can't. I'm trying to help Scott. He's playing Sonic Racing and was disconnected from his fire. No, that's not good. Must just be the shit. I had no issues with. Yeah, Zay, like I think it's like I said, it was going from Switch to Mario Kart World. So it was like going from Sonic Racing, which is the Switch version, to the Mario Kart World. It's like if you go back and look at it, it may not be as dramatic as I'm making as I'm talking about it, but I remember like specifically driving in Mario Kart World. That's when I've noticed it. Was when I went into Mario Kart World, and it was just like whoa. It was just kind of like too sharp. But I guess it was like a more Mario Kart World issue then. But I realized at that time, like Mario Kart World was like just at least on Switch 2, the superior product. So I am looking forward to this one. We'll do Sonic Racing some more. So 30 to 45 PS. Great. Oh my goodness. Y'all are so much. Harris and higher graphic fidelity. I think it's good. I think it's good. I don't even know why people get so into FPS. Maybe that's a big thing. I don't know. Sometimes I can notice it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I notice it, sometimes I don't. All right. Since we are on Nintendo. Let's see. I had some news. I had some Nintendo news. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. So let's do this. Let's see. Do I have this one over here? I think I do. All right, here we go. No, that's not it. There it is. There it is. Okay, U.S. patent orders re-examine of Nintendo's controversial summons character and let it fight Pokemon patent, which IP expert claims further undermines credibility of its case against Power World. Yeah. I think, as I said before, I think Nintendo's going to lose on that one. I think they have some other tricks up their sleeve. I don't necessarily blame Nintendo, though. Like, I think, and I've said this before, in a world in which AI is making it where no one's holding AI companies accountable for infringing on copyrights, like, I think it's reasonable to try to strengthen whatever you have as far as IP and copyright. Now, I think copyright was probably the wrong angle to take with Power World. I think they had a better angle on IP. But I don't blame them. Like I think that's their right. Like lawyers get paid regardless. I don't think Power World is totally innocent here. Like that's I guess my biggest qualm with this is I just don't think Power World's like, oh, we didn't know. Like, no, I don't know. I think the bigger company usually gets a lot of flack unless it's Microsoft. But in general, like, I don't know. I'm gonna let millionaires duke it out with millionaires here. And to see what's going on. It is really rare for the patent office to relook something. So if they do re-examine the patent, I think Nintendo has also some recourse there because it's like, well, you granted it. What I mean? So if they are going to say like we're gonna relook it and they ultimately invalidate it, I mean, I think Nintendo also, like I said, I think they'll have at least something there because they're gonna like, we followed your process and you didn't follow your own process. So it's a super interesting case. Ultimately, I think these two are gonna come to a decision. Like, I don't think Power World's gonna get off scot free. And I don't think Nintendo's gonna get everything they asked for. So yeah, that's where I think this one ends. So we'll see. We'll see. We keep seeing it. Loves Mario. Do they want Sonic to do that well? I think everybody wants to do well. The answer in the rear control. Good. Stop it, Neos. It's varying 30 frames is quite jarring for a racing game. Is it? Maybe is that what I was saying, Paul? Maybe it was. Maybe it was the frames. Maybe it was the frames. Then I'm not doubting it wasn't the frame. I'm just saying it was like going from that to switch. Like it did test my ability to jump between games. You had the AI video you made to tell me about physical games. That wasn't AI. Why would I have an AI video made? AI should be telling me about physical. I did not have. What AI? That was an AI. We'll pull it up. We'll pull it up here. But yeah, so that's Nintendo. But it's not all bad news for Nintendo. You know what I mean? We're about to get to a little bit more here. Not all bad news. Not all bad news. Because Nintendo has sold 10.3 million units worldwide of the Switch 2 console. Now, this is actually like a point of contention. Like 6 months ago, there was a lot of people saying like, oh, it's not going to sell that well. And every indicator shows that Switch 2 is like the biggest console launch ever. And I think this is really interesting because on one hand, you have Xbox and they're saying like the console market's no longer there. They're moving to PC, blah, blah, blah. And I think there's some credible evidence of that. But on the other hand, you have Nintendo taking claim for like the best selling console ever at the same time. And I mean, I think the way you reconcile those two statements is that these are like technically two different markets they're participating in. But at the same time, it makes you, at least for me, question why these two different interpretations. And you see this a lot in the console, like the PC Xbox space, or no, not PC, the PlayStation Xbox space. About like, oh, like one's going to PC and that's why things are dying. But then you have like Nintendo who like is not doing that whatsoever, unless you're Neos and you like to, what do you like to do? Pirate. And so I don't know. I think it's an interesting like case study. Like if I ever had time in the future, I would probably analyze this a little bit more, like interrogate it, like actually go look up some data, like what do they do differently? Because like on its surface, Xbox theoretically should not be underperforming Nintendo, like surface level. But it is. You know what I mean? And so I don't know what that really says. Was that like an Xbox issue? Was that just a marketing and advertising issue? Is it truly the power of the franchises? Is it the mind share that Nintendo has? I think it's like a ton of things, maybe all of that mixed in. But 10.3 million in roughly 5 months, less than 5 months. That's impressive. That's not even including the holiday season, which usually Nintendo outsells. Like the holiday season is like all the other quarters combined. I don't think it's going to be that. If it is, if Nintendo sells over like 20 million within 9 months, it's crazy. It's crazy. And they're still selling Switch 2 or Switches, Nintendo's like the original one. Yeah, it's quite a bit. They actually released their earnings this week, and it was impressive, at least on the software side of things. And it's so impressive. It's so impressive for them. So impressive that Nintendo now is saying it's gonna it could buy more companies. Now, this is actually kind of big news. They don't normally, they have money, by the way. Nintendo has a lot of cash on hand. Actually, by cash on hand, they're actually one of the richest companies in Japan, just based upon their cash holdings. And I think the last time I checked, it's over 10 billion in cash. So they have money to go buy companies, right? I don't think they're going to buy like EA or something that big, or Ubisoft. I don't think that. But I think it's really smart of them. Like right now, there's a lot of companies that are not doing well. There's a lot of talent out there. And considering that they are essentially putting out like 2 exclusives each month. It's averaging around 2. Like, I just want to like remind people what they've already put out in roughly 5 months. Right? They put out Donkey Kong franchise, Mario Kart franchise. They put out Pokemon. They've put out a Kirby. I think they have 2 Kirbys out. Maybe another, like, they have like the Kirby that came out in August. And they got this other one that is like a racing Kirby. They have the Zelda one that launched today, which is the Hyrule. It's the Hyrule Warrior series, Age of, not Calamity. It's the other one. It's the one where they go back in time. And so, like, they have a ton of stuff. And then they have Metroid coming out. Like, so if you're like into Nintendo franchises, they are delivering. They got Mario Kart coming out. This isn't to be lost that they also have like the Dragon Quest, potentially another Xenoblade around the corner. Like, this isn't even like getting into their bags of like their big, like an actual Mario. This isn't Age of Imprisonment. Thank you. It's new, and everyone who wants an Xbox already has one. But Crow, that wouldn't. I get what you're saying there, but Xbox is saying consoles are dead. Nintendo has the biggest console launch ever. That's what I mean, Crow. That's what I mean. You can't rationalize it just by saying Switch is new. Like, that would make sense, right? That would make sense that Switch sells a lot. But not 10 million in 5 months a lot. That's the biggest console launch ever. Like, right? I'm not saying like, oh, this is like the 4th or 5th launches, and therefore we could say it's not as big as the Xbox Series X or the blah, blah, blah. This is the biggest launch ever. At the same time, a company is saying that it's dying. Like, they're actively pushing the narrative that consoles are no longer a thing. That's the question. If you look at Nintendo's console sales, generation over generation, they're increasing. Like, that's kind of the question I have. Like, why is that? Like, if you hear me what I say, I always say like gaming's plateaued. Right? I think like the number of gamers is not growing. That's what I mean by that. Not like the technology or the franchise, blah, 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 blah. I mean like the number of gamers. So that's the question I have. She private shaming. Did I? But yeah, I think it's a smart move. They have the cash. A lot of companies are going to be on sale. I'm not saying they're, like I said, I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to acquire developmental people. Technically, it's 10.3 in 4 months, seeing as those numbers are up until September. Was it September? It was September. It wasn't October. If it's 10.4 in 4 months, that's even more ridiculous. That's even more ludicrous to me. Like, that's my whole thing. Nintendo makes me think of Kirk Angle. The theme song. Who's Kirk Angle? Is he a fisher? He sounds like a fisherman. Like I said, I think to me it's interesting. It's an interesting business case for me. I'm interested in stuff like that. Like, why are they? It's as if like it's as if in a weird way you have like, I don't know, a company who's like saying like CD players are dying, and then they have all these CD players, and then the other one's like MP3. Maybe that's not even all right because those are like evolution to evolution. I'm trying to think of like a form factor. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could think of it when I'm a little bit more. But yeah, I just think it's an interesting, considering Xbox is for all intents and purposes like more powerful, more larger catalog. I don't know. To me, it's interesting. So I either didn't understand your question or you aren't understanding what I'm saying. I didn't know if I had a question. Well, I think, okay. Let me give you the scenario again. Maybe I could be explaining it wrong. To me, I think it's interesting that you have Xbox saying, not the Xbox Series X, but in general, consoles are dying. Like that is their point of view. It's not to say like, oh, our generation is later and then we're now going to get it. They're saying in general, consoles are dying. That's why they want to now go in the cloud. They want to go PC. They want to go handheld. They want to go like every single form factor you can go to, because the idea of the console as the gaming platform is essentially done. Like people are moving away from that. That is the Microsoft line. That might be true. At the same time, you have Nintendo, which is saying that they're having the biggest launch ever. That's of a console. That's the thing. Nintendo has console right now. Xbox has been or made appear they are banning, so no one is buying those. Yeah. But it's like the whole idea, but Xbox's whole theory is based upon the idea that the console business, not the Xbox console business, like consoles as an entire product is dying. And that's why they're moving away from it. Which if you think that, like, yeah, then you're gonna deprioritize your own console. But I think it's interesting that they're taking that whole idea at the same time Nintendo has the biggest console launch. That's kind of it's more than Nintendo Switch versus Xbox Series. That's not the argument I'm making. The argument I'm making is the idea around a console. Or what I'm curious. It's not even an argument. It's like I'm curious why one would say like the console business is dying, regardless of if you're Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo or Atari, blah, blah, blah. While at the same time, a console maker would be the highest, the biggest launch ever. I don't think so, Purple. Is Switch a console or a handheld? I don't know. Both. Thank you, Zalik. I would say it's both a console and a handheld. It's a very restricted handheld. I don't know. I don't use it as a handheld. Hey, Obi. Hey, Simpleton. That's a good. So you're saying they would say. So that argument would say the handheld market is growing. Is that what you're saying, Crow? Like you would delineate. Hey, Mel. A console to me is a system that allows easy purchase, install, and playing of games in an ecosystem. I like that one, Roster. I like that one. I think it's interesting because like the handheld gaming market, like 12 years ago, it was about 12 or 13 years ago. I'd have to go look at it. The gaming industry was saying like the handheld market was like, who gifted these? Who gifted these? Wit, big spender? I gotta talk to you with tomorrow. But like the handheld market was actually like that was on its deathbed, right? A lot of people like will point to the Nintendo 3DS and be like, look, Nintendo 3DS, they lowered the price of that because people weren't buying it. But the reason why people weren't buying it is because it was actually coinciding at the exact same time that you had the smartphone and the tablet market picking up. So if you were like a handheld gamer, of course you were going to go to like a what do we call those? An iPad or your phone. Like at the time, like it was almost like the phone just made the better sense. And so for a while there, like mobile gaming was dominating the handheld market. And then all of a sudden, now we're seeing a resurgence of handhelds. If we're saying it's not a console, so maybe it's interesting. It would be interesting to look more into the data as to why people are buying it up. I agree. Why are people buying? I agree with that one. Xbox is definitely going to stay in the console market. Ooh. Why you say that? Calling the Switch a console is using the term loosely. I've never attached my Switch to the TV. I've never not attached it to the TV. Ooh, see what I did there? Also, Noisy Mofo, who I haven't seen. Yeah, Noisy hasn't been around. We got Squids, though. XPRX International. I like Joe 230. Is that a Sonic? I'm looking at their icon. Neil, Coldblood. Coldblood came by the other day. Ron Slusher. Josama. Noisy. Iman. And Wit. Yay! All good people. Wait, why are we arguing if a Switch is if you couldn't switch it, a handheld is still a console, right? I think, yeah. I said it was a console. Like, I think there's others who are like a little, maybe it's not. I use it as like a console. I think we could say it's a hybrid console. Just trying to figure out why they are doing so well in sales when other consoles are flat. Yeah, I think Crow hits the nail on the head. Yeah. Why would that console do so well? I think Crow exactly hits it on the head. Because it would actually make it seem kind of interesting. Like, the more I think about it, it actually is pretty interesting, right? Because, like, handhelds in general, I could even take the Steam Deck, which I know a lot of you have. Steam Deck's been out, 4 years? And I think it's right around 4 million sales, which, success. I think that is a success market. Marker. That's 4 million over 4 years. I wouldn't say that that's like a booming category. Like if I was to tell someone like, yo, you can make a lot of money, I probably would not tell them to go make a handheld gaming device, PC gaming device, because there's so many people in that. There's so many competitors there. And then you have like phones. It's like, how is Nintendo doing well in two markets that traditionally others have said are probably not that lucrative? Maybe. No worries, Mel. Why? It caters to kids. Does it? Does it? I don't know. I don't know, Zalek. Like, I think the numbers show that there's actually more adults who buy the Nintendo Switch, at least the Nintendo Switch 2, than kid. Now, that could change. That could change going into the holiday season. I don't know. I just think there's something there. I think it's something there. I think it's something there. But seeing how I already mentioned it, we're going to show another trailer. You know, the spirit of Nintendo, just because we can end on the Nintendo and then come back to this later if we want to. And then we'll talk a little bit more about handhelds. So that was, we talked about that earlier. That's the Age of Imprisonment, launched today. What I will say is these Hyrule Warrior games, I'm actually really impressed with the amount of, like, considering normal Nintendo game like Mario or Zelda don't really have a story. I was really impressed with the Age of Calamity story that they told, and like the side characters and the depth of the characters that they provided, or the depth of the storylines for the characters that they provided, and how it all weaved in together in a, I thought, in a really cohesive way. And so even though I've not beat Tears of the Kingdom, I have actually gotten every single like flashback for Tear, like, I don't know what you call it. I forget what you call it, but I've gotten every little, like, I don't know, like memory. I think that's what they call it, memory. And so I would want to go back to see like what happened when she was. So spoiler alert, like Zelda goes back in time, like way, like thousands of years back in time. And I would want to see like what she did back then. like, so supposedly, and this one is supposedly part of the storyline. So unlike Age of Calamity, which I got yelled at on Rudix's channel, was not part of the storyline. So yeah. So that is Nintendo. So that's that. What? What? Are you serious? I know it is pretty cool. You know, when anytime I see it, I always think of the Game Awards, because they had I always think of like when it got nominated for Game of the Year, and they're showing, you know, at the very end, they show each game that gets nominated for Game of the Year, and then there's the orchestra up front and they're playing. And I just remember when they're playing Tears of the Kingdom, the like they're like going like super crazy. It's actually pretty cool. Paul, 30 is the average age of Nintendo controller. I read. Wow. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's it for a game that's been stolen the past 2 months. What do you mean? What do you mean, Paul? What do you mean? I hope they send out a replacement. Oh no. Did he order it and someone stole it? Seen as canon by some, including me, but just a branching. Okay, Mel, I agree. I agree with you. Age of Calamity fits. Like, I don't understand, but I was on Rudix's channel, and you can ask Eniolk. She was on that show too. And there was a guy, and I was like, yeah, I think it's a good story. And he like super quick cut me off and was like, it's not canon purple. And I was like, I didn't even know what that meant. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know what that meant, really. Because, like, if you follow the Zelda lore, like, it breaks off into, like, different timelines and, like, dimensions. But I was like, yo, it makes sense in Breath of the Wild, like, timeline. I don't know. Sadly, no, I have to wait 14 days for them to do an investigation and see if my game still turns up. So I'm going to grab a copy and store tomorrow. Oh, no, Paul. I'm sorry to hear that. But Mel, it's doing well. The game's cool. You're playing it right now and it's pretty good. Like, here's another thing about that game. I didn't know this. And this is to like Cowboy and the other people, because I took a lot of heat for this one in the spring. That game has the, like, you can have like two characters. So it's a Dynasty Warriors game. All right. So it's not like, it's like a big hack and slash, right? You can do the game share via game chat with that game, meaning like only one person needs it. And you could do like couch co-op with that game, which I think is pretty cool. Because like, then you can have like two people running around the map and doing whatever you need to do. I just think that's really cool that they did that with a Zelda, like a decent franchise. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I said they came along with their console. I just think they want to change up the experience for console players to give their player base more than what the norm is now for current gen. You're saying Xbox? I have on Xbox? Maybe. I just think I think that's a logical point of view. Let me say that. I think that's a fair point of view. I just feel like Xbox is like, there's just not I told you, I just don't think gaming's big enough for Microsoft. At the end of the day, they're like, we are making how much money in gaming? How much money in AI? Why are we still in gaming? I think that is a conversation they honestly have quite a bit. The timeline is messed up anyway, and Nintendo doesn't carry the way. It lacks consistency, but it's never been important. I thought it made sense in the timeline. All right. Here we go. But talking about handhelds, how about this one? Hey, look at me. I'm over here. So Sony is developing a PlayStation handheld to be able to play PS4, PS5, and PS5 games natively, known as Project Canis internally. And so say it will launch in PS6 in 2027. Will be dockable. So, yeah, I guess maybe handhelds are making a comeback. It'll be interesting to see how this does. Let me do it. It'll be interesting if that's what it looks like. I doubt that's what it looks like. I highly doubt that's what it looks like. That just looks uncomfortable. The more I look at that thing, it looks uncomfortable. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So maybe there's something to the handheld market. Maybe. But let's pull up something here in a second. Let's pull something up here. Thank you to Crow. Nintendo Switch 2 sales millions like in 4 months is at 10.3. Xbox over 4 months, right under 4. So let's call it what, 3.5. PlayStation. Does this include the chip shortage? I wonder if that's a thing. 6 million. But you know what's interesting about this chart? Crow, you want to know what's interesting about that chart? If I'm not mistaken, PlayStation 6 and PlayStation 5 launched in November. I might be wrong about that. When did those launch? That would include the holiday season. As where Nintendo launched like in the summer. If that is that's crazy. That's crazy. But thank you to Crow for finding the information. Seems like a smart idea with the popularity of handhelds. Are they popular though, Rouster? Are they popular? That's a question I have. I think Nintendo is popular. That's like me saying like, I was trying to figure out a way I could put Tesla in a conversation today. That's like me saying like Tesla popular with electric vehicles. They're showing it's super popular. But then Ford creates an electric vehicle. Like everybody makes an electric vehicle and they're still popular, but they're not like as popular as Tesla. Right? Like, does that mean electric vehicles are more popular, less popular, or is it a mixed bag? Does it really depend on the electric vehicle? If you're thinking about buying a Tesla, buy a Lucid. That's what I will say on that as well. But that's where I have a question. Like, are they popular? I don't know. Switch 2, did Nintendo solve the supply problem that always plagues new systems? Are they making sure that there's enough to go around, unlike an Xbox? Yeah. Well, I would imagine if they're at 10 million in 4 months, 10 million in 5 months, like, I don't know. It seems like they have not raised the price of the Switch 2, given what those did not have to deal with, which is tariffs. Right? So they're doing something. I don't know what. It seems to me PlayStation is going the same route. I don't know about that. I did a whole video of that. All right, no worries, roster. November 2020. Yeah, both. Yeah. So if they released in 2020 was COVID, to Zalek's point. Man, it seems weird. Time will only tell, but I have confidence that Xbox won't become Sega. Like, sure, Xbox may do stupid things, but they're still delivering games while PlayStation is giving crumbs. But that's exactly why they would become Sega. Neos, you just said exactly why they would become Sega. I want you to actually break down what you just said. You're like, they're still delivering games. Sega still delivered games. It's not about not delivering games, right? Like, they're doing that. The question is on hardware. That's the thing. And so if they're saying like, yo, we're not selling consoles, you now have to like bet on handhelds. And right now the handheld they're selling is a third-party handheld, which is a great move. That means you're monetizing your brand, right? Like Asus has to pay to get, or I would imagine they would, to get Xbox on there or to use the Xbox interface, operating system. So why would you make a handheld? Why would you make hardware? Like, that's my thing. I wouldn't. Handhelds have made comeback and have been repopularized by, yeah. I mean, they're 140 trendy hype, but are they actually like that much? Maybe. All right, Layer Neos. Microsoft has said in an interview I watched that, let me see what Ro has to say. I wish I could take this out. I can't. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna have to, like, next time I do a video, I'm gonna have to pull it out. But let me do it like this. All right. Microsoft. Oh, I hate that. I don't like that writing. How can I change that? Oh no. What? Oh no. Let me see. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. I think I might be able to change that. Oh my goodness. I don't like that. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that font. All right. Oh wait, hold on. I think I can change it. Hold on. Okay, I can. Okay. Let me get something better. Well, I don't know. I just gotta get rid of that font. Okay, there we go. Microsoft has said in an interview I watched that they want to do the gaming what they did with Microsoft Office. They want to be the software platform everyone uses, but not hardware. Oof. Do you think they can do it? I don't. Oh, I get you're just repeating what they said. That's a good question. Here's the thing. I think that brings up an interesting point of view. because I don't think they can do it. Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean, Crow. Here's what I mean. And y'all push back on this because this is like y'all always push back anyway. But here's what I mean. I think if we went back to like early 90s, right? Because there was a point where you had IBM, right? IBM hardware. You had Windows and you had Apple, right? And so IBM, a lot of people don't remember that, but IBM was like the king back in the 80s when it came to personal computing. Like it was undeniable. Apple, like there was like no Apple. Like the only people who used Apples way back in like the 90s, because this is where I'm going back. I'm going to like, my point of reference is like that 1992 to like 1996 timeframe. The only people who really used Apples at this point were like creative types. Like Apple was always considered a creative personal computing system. Like it wasn't about gaming. It wasn't really about like productivity. It was about like creative at like music. I just remember there was something called Band in a Box and it was on Apple. So like Windows came about and it kind of revolutionized it, right? You had like Compact, you had like HP, and they had all these like flashy like looking things. You had the laptops. Like it was like Windows just kind of like came in and dominated. To me, that was more or less because you had the two others, like IBM refused to change. And Apple just like, it was like a computer, but it was like, you had no vision, right? Steve Jobs wasn't there or anything. And so it seemed like basically in a very short amount of time, Microsoft Windows went from being like Windows 3.1. Is that what it was? Like you went from like Windows 3.1 to Windows 95 was like night and day. You know what I mean? And then from there, then you went to Windows 98 and that just solidified it. Now, I would say like there's way more competition in gaming. I would say gaming is actually moving away from the traditional gamer. Like gaming, and what I mean by moving away, the growth in gaming is like kids today, like Roblox, like tons of, there's like Roblox and then there's like a Russian clone of Roblox that like is super popular right now. You have the Chinese market, right? That seems to be where the growth is. And so like, I think the landscape is much different for them to dominate. Like at that, like back then in the 90s, like personal computing was growing. Right now it's stagnating. So like gaming is probably personal computing as well. So like where would they got to steal the gamers from somewhere. Like I think Call of Duty, this is going to probably be one of the least attractive Call of Duty entries in several years. Candy Crush is steadily like kind of, you don't see huge numbers there. So it's steadily declining. Halo maybe, right? But even then, we'll see how it does on PlayStation. The racing game Forza, I think that's a bright spot, as many people have told me. Like Forza is like one of the best-selling games of all time. You know, we talk about like the Xbox pure IP that is like super popular, you know, and I go back to like any of, like, if we think about the big titles that were going to be super popular on Xbox this year, like they kind of like, I don't know what happens. I don't know literally what happens. Like where you have, like we talked about South of Midnight before. Cowboy left a comment on a video. We talked about Doom. But what was that game in February They launched a game in February that like literally came and went. It was like super big. And then Rouster, I think you were playing this game. Oh, if Rouster was there. I don't know, man. I don't know. We want to make sure whether it's a console. Let me do it like this. Whether it's consoles, PC, mobile, or cloud gaming, direct on the TV, we just want to make sure games are being enjoyed by gamers everywhere. I get it. I think I think he forgot to add the last point of this statement, though. We just want to make sure games are being enjoyed by gamers everywhere, and we're still making a massive profit. I think that's the thing that I didn't. Where's that part of the statement? My little designers had apples. Yep, that's true. Roblox. Yeah, it is. Hopefully it can get better in terms of gaming. Hey, Cherryman, what's going on? Cherryman, I saw your video. Cherryman had a whole video on that 2 million Nintendos being sold. Avowed. Yes, Avowed. But it's like original God of War. You need like another God of War? I don't know. Does it? I don't know. I just don't know. I think, Cowboy, to your point, I think the gaming world needs whatever is going to gain traction. And I don't know if God of War is that. Or do you mean like, do they need another franchise that can capture the gaming world like God of War? Because if that's the case, then yeah, I would say like, yeah. So we'll see. Oh yeah, Avowed. That was the game for sure. Yeah, Avowed. Exactly, Mel. Like, Avowed. What happened to Avowed? Like, I feel like this is going to be the same thing like how we talk about Fable. Like they were so pumping up Fable. You haven't heard anything about Fable. So, I don't know. That's the only reason I say I don't think they can do what they did. I think doing what they did with Windows was an amazing right time. Competitors were not doing anything. The market was growing. But and you were kind of considered the new kid on the block. You know, if we go back to that time frame. But now it's like, ooh, I don't know. You're already big. Gaming needs Stadia. I wish, Ron. God of War multiplayer just got canceled. Oh my goodness. Really? But what would that even look like? What does that even look like? Zach, I remember. Yeah, I remember both of y'all were playing it. That's why I was like, I remember y'all would know what it was called. Avowed backwards spells Devova. Yeah, I don't know. We got a couple more articles, but we got a couple of more trailers. How about that? Let's do this one. We're gonna do 2 back to back, and then we'll finish the news. Then 2 more trailers. Then I'll open it up. So that was Cinder City. Pretty crazy. So I've watched this trailer a couple of times now. What gets me about it, besides like the graphics and the music that's super dramatic, is the sound effects. Like if you go back and like watch the Cinder City, it's like this. I guess that's what you would call it. The sound effects. It's just like so like very. Even in the trailer, it's like Dolby Atmos. Like it makes you feel like the bullets are all around you. And I said this like maybe 3 years ago. I think sound is a place where like gamings can really like up the immersion level. Some games do this really, really well. But that one doesn't. Like anytime you like hear like the bullet, like I've done it like 3 times now just to make sure I'm not hearing things. But I'm fairly certain the trailer has like this surround or this, I guess, what would you call it in gaming? Spatial audio, right? Hey, Ian. And so like, yeah, I thought it was gonna like, I'm more excited about the sound in that one than anything, but we'll see. We'll see. Arc Raiders putting extraction shooters on. I tried to get into Arc Raiders back in the spring, but if y'all say it's good, I'll give it another shot. Like I was interested in it when it was a PvE. I'm not so much into like, what is it, PvEVP? But if they can just do PvE, I would get into it again. But I also didn't like the movement. Like I just felt like you're like, well, it's like a big map. You want to know what it reminded me of? And I want to get into this game too. I bought it, but Hunt Showdown. Like I want to get into Hunt Showdown so much, but it was like, yo, I am like walking forever. It's like 15 minutes of just like slushing through like, yeah, I'm just tired. Like by that time, I'm like, I'm tired. Like I need a little bit more action. And that's what I felt like with Arc Raiders. I felt like when I did the beta or the alpha or whatever test I did back in the spring, besides the fact that it had like a bug, it just took me too long. I couldn't get into it. But maybe I need to play with other people. Maybe. It was said it was surpassed in Greece. Hades had an armory for players to get gear, but the whole thing got canceled at Blue Point. They only have 80 employees, so low for lives. Ooh, not good. I hate when game trailers show cutscenes. Show us the gameplay, Crow. But this like the like of all time? I actually was thinking the same deal. Like I was like, how would this play? Like, am I like watching like after you like? There's a scene there where like the robot shoots like the bloody girl robot. I think it's a girl robot or something like that. I'm like, what does that look like? Like, what does the game look like to your point, Crow? I totally get you. Not gonna lie, I feel like it told me nothing about the game other than it's a shooter. I don't even know if it's a shooter, Mel. Like from that trailer, I think it could be like a Detroit Become Human from that trailer. I don't even know if that's a shooter. Like honestly, I don't even know that. Spatial sounds, they are spatial. That's what it's called. The game looks epic. I've seen the older trailers and gameplay trailer, and it looks pretty cool. So what is the gameplay though, Cowboy? What's the gameplay? I don't know. I just like the sound. I just like the sound. Here we go. We got a couple more. Then I'm going to show you some more. I'm going to talk about some more news, and then I'm going to show you. Mel, after I watched that entire trailer thinking about what you said about the other game, and I felt the same thing about this game. Like they have like this okay, so we at least saw a game trailer, right? We at least saw gameplay of this game, right? And so we know it's like that, top down third person type of look to it. But all I saw was the dude running. Like half the thing is the dude running. A quarter of it is like scenes. There's music. There's like this chanting in the background. And then the other third of it is like he's fighting, or quarter of it is he's fighting people. Like I want to like that game, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to catch me. I don't know if it's going to... A Diablo clone, maybe. Interactive choice game, because I did not see that at all. I'm just saying, I could have seen it. But Cowboy says it's a third-person shooter. I wouldn't have thought it was a third-person shooter, though. Or Path of Exile. I don't know. I think if you're going to come out with a game like that, the one that we just saw, it has to be like engaging. And I saw the dude running more than anything. That came out too. Okay, we'll check it out. The same studio that did Vulcan did that game. Vulcan was a lot of fun, but yeah, I'm not sure what is happening in this one. Yeah, that's what I thought. Diablo people should sue. No, I mean the dude's just run. If you go back and watch that trailer, he's just like running. He's like running this way, then he runs like this way, then he's like running upstairs. I mean, I get it. Like I'm sure it's a small team. And they're like, okay, let's put some chanting music in the back. Let's show the guy running around. Let's show some fights. Let's show some artwork and scene. And that's the trailer. That's the trailer. And I think if that, I would imagine Rouster may like that, like, because Rouster plays all the clones, I think. But yeah, my like kind of my baseline is Diablo. You gotta have to have like something. You gotta have to have something. But that's how I feel about a lot of. Let me see. That's how I feel a lot of trailers these days. They either don't tell us what the game is really like about, or they do, and they don't have anything that separate from others in the genre. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that, but that's what's going to happen, right? If you have thousands and thousands of games launching every year, you're really only talking like in each genre, like a handful that are going to stand out. Inspired by Diablo. Well, there you go. Like it needs to show us why we might want to play this over Diablo. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But I think as game development becomes cheaper, and what I mean by that is like it's easier to make a game now than ever before. I think we can all say that. And if you can imagine, the tools are always going to probably lean towards the average. So like the tools are going to lean like towards what Diablo actually is. You basically have to go the route of who I'm saying is game of the year, which is Expedition 33. You have to take like that genre and build onto it. So I think we're saying the same thing, Mel, right? Like I think you have to like do like what made the genre. Like you have to make a very good game in the genre you're doing, but also somehow add. And I feel that takes just imagination that I don't know if exists in the gaming industry right now. I was watching a streamer do Path of Exile yesterday. That game has better graphics than Diablo. Yes, but it's harder. It's way harder. It's way harder. It's easier to make a game now, but it's harder to make a good one. That's why dev cycle keeps going up. Yeah, I get it. Well, speaking of games, this one isn't, but it's based upon a game. Let's see if y'all can get it. All right.
So you wanna tell me about your bad dreams?
It's always the same.
Your dad. We're never gonna be able to move forward until you deal with some of the mess you left in your head.
My father was a monster. You know that.
Everyone called it an accident, but it wasn't until years later when those 5 children went missing that I knew she was murdered by him.
Are you ever gonna go back to Freddy's, I mean?
I think my sister is here.
Where are you gonna run to?
What do they want with my sister? Half of this town will be dead by morning.
So that's Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I played Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, I forget which one. The one that was on Stadia on stream. I am a fan of, like, I think like that story, like the person who created the IP, the way the story kind of has like the game has like multiple types of entries into the game. There's actually a book series for Five Nights at Freddy's. It's sold over 10 million copies, I believe. And now it's on the big it's on the silver screen. That's part 2. I think part 1 did extremely well in the movie. Don't hold me up to that. I might be thinking of a different movie. But I'm just really happy for that guy who created that. Like, I don't know if I would get along with him in real life, but I think that's like kind of interesting what he did there. And it's like, it has its fan base. I'll say it like that. Nope. Really? We don't have a stupid partition puzzle in the movie. Simpleton, remember the one? You couldn't do the one. Which one was it? It was the one with the walls? Simpleton, which movie, which puzzle was it? Was it the wall one? I want to say it's the wall one. I didn't have that much problems with that. Check out the Borderlands movie. I don't have Borderlands. I didn't get it. It's more like 5,000 nights ever. Oh my goodness, really? I think, like I said, I'm just happy. As someone who, I've said this before, I think there's a lot of things you can do out there with IP, and the way they've just like kind of milked that for the fans of Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm happy for. You know what I mean? Like, I am happy for them for that. Yes, the stupid one. Cage is a great call. Willy Wonderland. Really? I haven't seen that one. Willy Wonderland? Wait. Oh yeah. It's a good movie? I think I have seen that. The last Nicolas Cage movie I saw was Pig, which I actually really liked. I didn't think I was going to like that movie, but I did like it. I'm trying to forget it exists. I need to watch this. We need a Little Nightmares movie. So they're doing, all right, Ron, I haven't done my Little Nightmares video. The thing is, a lot of people are not happy with the direction Little Nightmares has went. I'm reserving judgment. Like, I'm not happy. I just think there's a lot of nostalgia, and then they're going like a more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, if you think about Little Nightmares 1 and 2, it's really dark. Like, especially the way I tell the story, it's super dark. And so but Five Nights at Freddy's is pretty dark too. The more I think about it. I don't know, anytime you have kids and stuff, it gets kind of, yeah. Till Dawn movie I saw recently, it was decent. Yes, I did see it. I saw it. But definitely has nothing to do with the game apart from some feeble attempts to connect them. So, like, I saw it. I thought Until Dawn was decent. Like, I think it's hard to, like, how do you like recreate being killed and stuff. I thought that was interesting. I saw another movie not too long ago that's like based upon a video game. I'm trying to think what it is. Oh my goodness. It has to do with a cave. They go through the cave and then they get stuck. Oh my goodness. I can't remember what movie that was. Anyway, I saw another movie. I can't remember what movie I saw. I know what happens at the end. And they get stuck. It's an old movie. And they let all the monsters out. I can't remember it. All right. We got a couple more things. Square Enix is all in the news. Square Enix lays off people. I don't get it. 100 people were laid off. Then we have stuff about Square Enix. Operating income up, net sales down. Don't ask me how that happens, but it happens. And now you have Square Enix doing Square Enix stuff. I'm not a big fan of Square Enix, if you cannot tell, but I just think Square, like, I don't know. Square just does Square stuff. Conquer has animated series on YouTube. Does it? I didn't even know it had something. I didn't have something, but here we go. We're going to get into this really quick. GTA 6 is delayed. I don't think anybody, here's the thing about this. Let me do this like this. I'm not a huge GTA 6. I don't understand why GTA 6. I don't understand why GTA 5 sells so much. Like, I just don't get it. But I guess this is a big thing. Right? I guess it's a big thing. Square Enix is always on it, Mel. Square Enix is always on it. Like, I don't know what it is with them, but they're just like on their own little thing. But GTA is delayed. And if you ask the insiders, it's not all what it's cracked out to be, right? Because here we go. They fired 40 employees for leaking confidential information on Discord. So now the plot thickens, right? The plot thickens. And so when we dig a little deeper, they're firing employees for union busting. So I don't know. Maybe not everything's cracked up to be, or what it's cracked up to be over there at Rockstar. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is considered iconic video game maker. I don't know what to make of it. I don't get the hype either. Yeah, Mel. I have played Grand Theft Auto since San Andreas. I think the one with the hot coffee code. I didn't even know there was a hot coffee code. But yeah, here, this is going to be a controversial take. I'm not going to lie. I think, what if this game doesn't meet expectations? Like, what happens then? Like, I don't think there's been one game with this level of hype ever. Like, you got to think about it. Like, Grand Theft Auto 5 is consistently like top 5 game in game sales year over year, which I still don't quite understand how that works. There's been so much hype on this game. Ton of hype. What if it doesn't do as well? Like, and what I mean by that is like, ton of hype was on the Switch 2, right? Switch 2 needed to sell a lot. If you ask me, it met the hype because it is essentially, it was like Switch was the number 1 selling console of all time. I don't care what PlayStation says. And so if Nintendo Switch was the number 1 selling console of all time, then Switch 2 being the number 1 launched console of all time makes sense to me. That means you met expectations. I don't think that means you exceeded them. That means you met them. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have to be the biggest launch. It has to be like huge. Like half of game, like 1 out of every 2 gamers buys the game. They're never letting up, Mel. They're not. I saw a post by an employee today came about the fire. It sounds sus. It does say like, so Rockstar employees didn't expose company secrets because that is 100% a fireable offense. I don't know. I don't know what they're saying. Did they not? I'm not taking sides on it. I agree. Exposing company secrets is a fireable expense. Downloading emails that don't even have to do with like tons of things are fireable expenses. Offenses. I'm just saying, like, in general, I'm starting to think like, what if they don't meet expectations? Private Discord chat discussing work, they would have had to upload something. If like this is a big one. Like Discord is interesting because you're now going, did they load up anything? I don't think they have. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Take-Two, I don't know about Rockstar, but Take-Two is based in New York. And so, I don't know. It's like, because Rockstar is like literally iconic. You know what I mean? Like I put them in my top 5 gaming devs of all time. You know what I mean? Like you don't really hear about people leaving Rockstar, right? There's certain places you just don't hear about, like Nintendo. You don't really hear about people like, oh, let me just leave Nintendo, right? You don't hear it there. You don't hear about Rockstar. You vaguely hear about CD Projekt Red. You don't really hear about it with like Santa Monica or Naughty Dog. You kind of heard like ex Naughty Dog dev. Like you do sometimes hear it there, not often. And then there's a couple like smaller studios you just don't hear about. But when you're talking like big iconic gaming studios, like it doesn't really get bigger than Rockstar. As far as like, I mean, just look at it. Like they have like Grand Theft Auto and the Cowboy game. This is the 6. That'd be crazy. Hey, Kenny, what's going on? Do you know the game studios should just release their game regardless of when puts out their date? Yeah, I think now you have to. You have to. Like, how many games are going to compete against like Rockstar? You know what I mean? Like, or Grand Theft Auto. You're just going to have to absorb it. But my thing is, I think Rockstar to me is risking being just not meeting expectations. That's all I got to say. I wonder if the formula is broken. That's my thing. Like, do people want that experience anymore? Or have we moved on from that type of game experience? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's correct to put it out there. To push it out. Grand has to do well so they can make a Red Dead 3. I think granted flops, they will scrap any Red Dead plans. Oh, you think they're related, Crow? Crow, you think they're related? You don't think like Red Dead already has its own? Like you would know that. Like, I mean, I don't know. Won't meet. It's way too high. I don't know. I mean, jeez. Here's the reason why when it comes to Grand Theft Auto, it's all speculation from me because essentially, like I'm not a Grand Theft Auto player, you know what I mean? But it's always like number 5 in game sales year over year. You're like that's pretty good. You know what I mean? That's like really good for a game that hasn't had a release since like 2015. So obviously I'm not the audience. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the delay is insanely long. They've been delaying it. Like it's been what, 2 years? Maybe not. Maybe it's like a year. It's been a while. Ambi's looking forward to it. I don't see the allure of it, but I guess. All right, we got to do one more trailer. And I'm gonna drop I'll drop this now, and then I'll do this trailer. How about that? Here we go. Let me put this in here. And then we'll go. We'll see how long we'll go. But we'll drop that now. And then I'm going to do this trailer. Last trailer. Shout out to Konami. So that was actually my favorite trailer of the evening. The only thing I have to say about it is, have you ever like nowadays, like you see movie trailers and you've like seen the entire movie in the trailer? I felt like Darwin's Paradox trailer just did that. I'm like, I think like if you show me like 30 seconds more, pretty sure I know the entire story. But regardless, it looks like it's an interesting like platforming, like game mechanic platforming. Looks really pretty world. It seems like there's something going on in the background. I love when you have something doing like that. Like you have some storytelling going on with the atmosphere. But yeah, Darwin's Paradox is going to be on every system. Probably will be a day and date. Probably will be in a day and date. And just because we're talking about 2026, in about 5 weeks, we will talk about my 26 most look forward to games for 2026. Now, this is not the actual list. I just want to say that. But these are some of the games that are coming out in 2026. I'm not going to say which ones from this list make my top 2026 list, but I will say there are about, I don't know, there's about 6 on this list that are going to probably make it. Maybe 7. Sorry, guys, but I get sick of the gameplay. I think I'll do it. It's your favorite because it's basically Little Nightmares. It was not Little Nightmares. It was not. I thought it reminded me more of Inside. The game, like obviously Inside you're running. That one, but that one's like you're a squid or an octopus. I don't know who's Darwin. So I don't think it reminded me of like Little Night, but it did remind me of like Inside. That's the one it reminded me of. But yeah, we have like several games in this list. There's a bunch of them coming out next year that I am looking forward to. So we are going to be doing our 26 games I'm most looking forward to in 2026. It'll be in December. Most likely it'll come the Thursday before Christmas. I'm pretty sure because I think it'll go the Game Awards one weekend. The following weekend will be my Game Awards. And then the weekend after that will be my 2026 most look forward to games. And here's some of them here. There's about 7 or 8 of them on this list that I'm looking forward to. So yeah. Be there or be square. Be there or be square. Oh, I think those are... Is that on there? Was Diablo on there? I didn't see Diablo. I saw Wolverine at top. But have they done a trailer for the Diablo one? There's some pretty big ones on that list right there. Have they done the trailer for the new Diablo one? Might stray with more platform. She could be straight with more platform. Yeah, I think it's just like a 2D platforming-esque type of deal. I don't know. There's storytelling. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my thing. We'll see it. We'll see. Here, let me pin this. So I don't know. Like I will say this. I don't know if I have like a solid number 1 for 2026. Like this year I did. I don't know if I have a solid number 1. I might look a lot like my number 1 this year. We'll see. But it sounds like they're announcing something at the Game Awards. If they do, what I hope they announce is Diablo. That'll be interesting though. Because they didn't announce anything at the last 2 Game Awards. Like usually PlayStation uses that. Remember, like at the end of like last year's Game Awards, that's when they announced Soros. Not Soros. What is that one? Intergalactic. So I feel like PlayStation uses the time to announce stuff, and during the Summer Games Fest, like Xbox uses it to announce stuff. If I had to think what Xbox is thinking of announcing, I would think it would be Skyrim, right? Isn't that like one of the big ones that they haven't said, but they're working on? I think it's Skyrim. Hey, roster. Wolverine game? Wolverine game would be PlayStation. So I'm hoping the game is good. Oh, really? You like him? Crow, you like Wolverine? I didn't know that. We'll see what the Game Awards have. I mean, like, there are a few. There are a few, like 20. I don't even know if I'll have 26 games for 2026. The more I think about it, I think I can get to 18, 15, 26 is a lot. So a lot of people are somewhat turned off by the art style of Wolverine. I'm not into comics like that, so I don't. It's not really. I don't have a vote in it. I could see me liking the story. I could see that happening, but we'll see. Then a house for Halloween. What? Hey, Holtz, what's going on? Holtz dressed up for Halloween, y'all. Holtz was Britney Spears. Fable and Crimson Desert are my top two. I kind of feel like there is less to talk about than usual. So you're looking forward to Fable. You played Avowed, which are different. Fable, I don't know enough about the story. I don't know enough about it. Crimson Desert, FCAT talks about that one. I'm going to have to go back and look at it. I'm not saying that there's... Well, I'm going to wait. The Game Awards has a lot of games, so I'm going to hold my judgment until then. But I'm going to wait for that. It's going to be similar to Spider-Man? Maybe. I mean, the whatever they showed, like the behind the scenes, I think it was behind the scenes reveal trailer. They really focused on the blood. They kept talking about that. It was bloody. Avowed is a good game. You didn't finish it. There's a lot of those. I am trying to be much more. I try to be much more intentional with the games I play. Is Witcher 4 in 2026? Have they announced Witcher 4? I wouldn't think so. Have they announced it? Or did they do a sneak peek? That'd be crazy. Because I told you, CD Projekt Red is a big one. In my opinion, CD Projekt Red is one of the bigger companies. So if they're gonna do it, I mean, I know I saw that Cyberpunk 2 or whatever is in pre-development right now. Oh, Ambi would know. Ambi's a big Witcher fan. I tried to get into Witcher 3 like a few years ago. They remaster Witcher 3. I just couldn't get into it. I wanted to though. I just couldn't. I guess 2029. Jeez, Mel, that far out? What's gonna hold? I mean, we'll see. Like, here's what I'm gonna say about 2026. Considering that PlayStation 6 and Xbox whatever is supposed to come out in 2027, I'm going to say like 2026 should be like the biggest year for the games coming out. You know what I mean? Because if we go back to like Game Awards like 2017, 2018, 2019, those were like huge games. Like, right? That is like some of the most solid competition for game of the year. And it makes sense. It's at the end of the console's life cycle, right? So if we're saying that 2027 is the end of is like the new generation of the console, 2026 should be like, okay, you've had the entire generation to perfect the game for 2026. And okay, I could see Wolverine. Maybe you're saying like, okay, well, Wolverine's gonna to do kind of similar to what Spider-Man did. Okay, I can see that. But at the same time, wow, that means there's not like Rockstar doesn't even have an entry. Wow. I just thought about that. Did you enjoy my I did, Holt. I did. I was curious where you learned how to do it. It's just it didn't do anything for me. Yeah, for sure. Isn't that far? It's only a little more than 3 years away. It is only a little bit more than 3 years. I know some people are really looking forward to 2029. Yeah, I guess it's not. I guess it's not that far. In my mind, it's way out. So yeah. But my goodness. My goodness, I'm just thinking. I have a lot of plans for the next 3 years. So like, I guess in my mind, it's not in gaming wise. I don't know why. I feel like it's so long in gaming, but you're right. Like I have a lot of, like I have the next 24 to 36 months mapped out in my mind. I just don't know what's out there. Like I know Darksiders is probably 2027. I don't think we're getting an Outriders 2. I don't think that's happening. Zelda movie is what, 2027? I think there's a Zelda movie 2027, maybe. So we'll see. Oh, really? I mean, they did really well, right? I haven't seen the first one. We'll see. We'll see. There's so many things out there. It's hard for me to like, yeah, that's the one. As far as like movies or games or books. We'll see. I think I'm with Zalek on this. There's less that I'm like super excited about. I think I'm with you, Zalek. I think I'm with you. All right. I'm going to shut it down in like 5 minutes. I said, I'm tired. Super tired today. Super tired this week. I need to try to get my energy back. But Mel, if you're out there, would you say age of containment? I forget what we called it. Age of imprisonment. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Mel, is age of imprisonment worth it? That's all. That's the last question I have. Yeah, I think everybody, there's just not as much. Or are we just getting older? Is it just that? No, I don't think so. I just think it's not. There's games I'm looking forward to. And maybe, let me say it like this. When I go through the 2026 list, that is going to tell me what games I'm like that's when I will go through like 300 to 350 trailers. That's what I did last year. I went through like 7 or 8, maybe even 10. I went through a ton of different like game festival like what came out, and then I went through like several of the studios that I follow or the publishers that I followed, and I had like a pretty solid list of like game. Now, granted, 80% of the games like I was not gonna play, But there was like a solid like 30 to 35 that I thought were going to make noise. And out of that 30 to 35, you know, that's when I whittled it down to 20. Expedition 33 was on that list, right? And that was like around 15 or 16. And we see that that's most likely game of the year. It's been a couple of them. So maybe there might be more there that I'm not seeing. I mean, it's great and worth for people who love warrior style games like me, but there's no game that can really justify the 100. Oh my good, at least of all a Nintendo game. It's $100 Canadian. It says, oh, you know what I forgot to say? Switch has a, I don't think I have it. I just found this out, by the way. Nintendo Switch has an app on the phone where you can buy games off of the phone. So, and I actually really like the app. Like, I know you're like, purple, they're all the same. But I'm like, no, I thought the app was like a really good app, a Switch buying games app. So if you have a Switch and you want to use your phone, you can now use your phone to buy not only games, but it connects to the Nintendo store. So like if you wanted to buy, like there was something, what was it? The vinyl, the Breath of the Wild vinyl thing. Like I was like, where do I buy this? And you actually, it connects directly to your profile. So if you own Breath of the Wild, it'll show you everything in the store that's Breath of the Wild, which I thought was like pretty cool. So like if they could do the same thing for like all the games, you know, even the ones that aren't Nintendo, which I doubt, that would be like super cool. Like if I could just go to like Little Nightmares and it's like all the like stuff from Bandai Namco, I think that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I won't. It won't go down. Because I don't. Okay. I'll look forward to your review then, Mel. I'll wait for your review. Yes. Why wouldn't I'm gonna get a new one. I want to get a I'm debating between the Pixel 10 Pro and the Pixel 10 Fold. And the reason why is because I find that I actually review a lot of things on my phone. Like I'm constantly reading stuff on my phone. And so I feel like the Fold would allow me to do that. But it's kind of expensive. But the Pro has the better camera. But I don't really use cameras on phones. Like I don't take a ton of pictures. So I'm kind of like, I don't know what I'm trying to get. Oh, this one's a 6. This one's a 6. That's Remy. This one's a 6, and this one is this one's a 7. I have 2. I have one for my company and one my personal. I have 2. So, but I'm gonna replace the personal one with the 10, or at least I think I am. I like it. I don't know. I like Pixel. I think it works. It's simple. It's not overwhelming, and it works. I've never had an iPhone, but I may be getting a MacBook Pro. But that's more or less because one of the people I'm hiring uses Mac. I think they use Mac. And I want to be able to work with them a little bit easier. So I may be getting a MacBook. I don't want Windows because I have Windows down here. Like this is what I'm talking to you all right now is on a PC. This is what I game with. So most of the time my PC is purely for like the show, like the channel. And then I use a Chromebook for like mainly everything else. But I could see like where, depending on what they're working on, like I'm gonna want something to review that with. Really? That would be cool. Post it, Holtz. You should post that. Get a Mac Mini if you get anything. It's the best value product. But I want to be able to move around. So that's the thing. I don't normally sit at a desk and just purely work from here. Like, if I'm down here, yeah. But the really only time I do that is if I'm talking to you all. But if I'm like just working, usually like I'm moving a ton, just because like inspiration hits me in different places. And then I just start like hammering it out. But I like the Mac Mini. To your point, I do like it. Like, I don't understand why anybody would like get a bigger computer. Like, true story. I don't understand why anybody would get it. But I like. Now, with that said, they are making like a cheaper Mac that's supposedly going to be around the same price point as like an expensive Chromebook. So there is that. But at the same time, I'm like, if I got a Mac, I would want to get like a more powerful, because I have a Chromebook and I like it. It's cheap, you know. So I don't know if I would want a Mac. I mean, a Mac, the cheap Mac Chromebook thing. We'll see. I haven't made my mind up. I'm still thinking through it. So I've had so many like expenses recently. Like a ton of expense. I had like 4 fish die on me all at once. That was kind of traumatic. So yeah, I'm like, who knows? Well, I think the next things are like new set of headphones, because these are like messing up. It's really annoying me. And a new phone. Like, I think that's like my Black Friday holiday shipping or holiday shopping. And then depending on what happens, potentially the MacBook Pro. I may not need it. Depending on what they use. So MacBook Pro may not happen. And then there's like some luggage I wanted. I think that's it. I'm interested to see if the Avatar game update lies up to the... Oh, the third. When does that come out? You're right. I have the game. I have the game on PlayStation. Is it hyped? I've had too many because I had to repurchase my entire set because most of my stuff is in instant. What? How's that possible, Mel? Y'all moved like 6 months ago. What? Wow. Like, yeah, I don't like, I may have to like update some parts of the PC. Mainly the Wi-Fi. Like, something's happened in my Wi-Fi on this one is not running too smoothly. It's actually what I was running late today. Like, it was, I don't know if it was, I don't know. Like, the whole show right now, I think, is being done on my, yeah, it's actually all being pushed from my Pixel. Like, I'm using my Pixel as a hotspot right now. And it's all being pushed from that. Wow. Yeah. Did you beat it before? I'm a third person player and I thought the game looked pretty. I'm still in the beginning. Like, I just got to the point where you're at the base and you're walking around. That's where I am in the game. So I'm like way in the beginning. I hope it does, to your point. I thought it was a really pretty game. Didn't get its due for why did it not? It's a good question. I don't remember getting like any backlash. Did we just move away from Avatar? That might be it. We just moved away from Avatar. But December's it's looking pretty good. We moved in May, but we couldn't move into the house until the end of September, and we waited to give them the green light for when we were 100% new. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Mel. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. That seems like just moving nightmare. Ooh. Okay. Okay. And which one would you say you like more? Say like between Ghost of Yote, Avatar, and Assassin's Creed Shadow. Which of those three? I know those are all different games too. They're all different games. I'm curious. How would you say you like those? There's a lot. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe 2026 will be the year I like catch up on old games. I don't know. I need to take a sabbatical. I think that's what I need to do. I needed there to make it feel like a not like, oh, you wanted to feel like a Navi? You're so like, you're so, you're right. That's what they're called. You really want it to be. Zayla, what type of books do you like to read? Assassin's Creed over. You put Assassin's Creed Shadows over Ghost of Yoti? That's like blasphemous to Ambi, by the way. Because you and Ambi play a lot of the similar type of games. I think that's interesting. But yeah, I'm curious what type, are you like if you're like you want to get immersed in the environment. So I'm curious if you like what type of books you like. Yeah, I think paranormal romance I read. What do you mean you watch paranormal? What is paranormal romance? What type is that? What's a paranormal like I'm trying like what does that even mean? What does that even mean? It is a whole segment. Oh, okay. So it has like Twilight. It's like Twilight. For the record, not that it's bad. It's just I feel like I'm playing more of the same. Struggling to, yeah, I get it. Oh, so do you think if you had played, Mel, if you had played Yoti first, you would feel the same way about Shadows? There's this wax and latex gel that allows me to do the ears like a Link at this rate. I could pull off. Holt, you should definitely post it. I'm not good at any of that. I'm not good at any types of like Robolica's really good at it. Doragon's really good at it. I am not good at any type of like cosplaying. And I have a friend, like a real life friend, who he's come by the stream a few times. And he told me like, hey, you should like link up with the cosplay community. Like I should interview some of them. And I try reaching out, but I'm somewhat intimidated because they're like so creative. And yeah, I don't know if I would want to be like an Urbosa or something. Ghost. Simpleton, you play both? I didn't know that. It's like witches, vampires, werewolves, a story with a bit of romance, kind of like Twilight, but better writing. Ooh, so you're like a literary. That's weird because people don't necessarily equate romance with good writing. Watch me get a lot of hate for that comment, but that's my point of view. Probably, yeah. It's also already similar to Tsushima, of course. So after a while, it starts feeling kind of stale. It's great on its own for otherwise. Yeah, I would say like I played Tsushima. I beat Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, I guess I'm just now thinking. I guess what PlayStation had 2 games coming. They had. I'm just thinking PlayStation had Death Stranding and they had Ghost of Yote. Ghost of Yote this year. They're having Soros in March. They're actually going to have about 6 games coming on in the next 18 months. So maybe we'll see if PlayStation turns a corner here. Ooh, I try to play mini games, even the ones on Travercure, but they don't hook me as much. Yeah, I think that's been the theme. That's been the theme, Simpleton. You need to get a Nintendo, Simpleton. No, I would say I've been, like I said, I'm gonna end it kind of like I started it, which is I just been emotionally tired. Like gaming, I need to be ready to learn. Like I need to like set time. I'll say it like this: I've been reading more than I've been gaming. And maybe that's just good balance, but I've been reading more than I've been gaming lately. Reading the Discovery of Witches books? Really? Let me see this one. Ooh. Ooh. Historical fantasy. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like what she did. I like what she did. I have a Switch. Last time I played the Switch was for Metroid Dread, and then it went back. No, Switch 2. Switch 2, so you can play Mario Kart World with us. Yeah, I mean, your theory is right, Pro. Maybe we are getting old, or it's just we all play too many games and just drained. Maybe. Like, that's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like there needs to be something that pulls me in. So last year you had Black Myth Wukong and you had Prince of Persia, right? You had both of those games kind of bookend the year for me. And you had X Defiant. So last year you had 3 games that combined I put in like 400 hours or something. 300 hours, 350. I just haven't had that. Like I have Mario Kart, but I play that on stream. Sonic I play on stream. There hasn't really been like there's Little Nightmares, which Cammy wants me to play. So I may like switch up one of these things. Like when I'm gonna play that one on stream. That's like the only one. Really? There was the other one. That was from Wire Productions. That seemed like one I would play on stream, but other than that, there hasn't been like that game that's like, oh, I need to go in there and play that. Oh no, no worries, Ian. It was for people to hop on for if they wanted to talk, but we're gonna probably take it pin it. That was it. The show Discovery of Witches was pretty good too. Basically, oh, so they already made a show? Oh wow, Holtz, you should have told us. I would have donated. but plays the romance up more, and the pace is too quick and miss cool details and subplots. Oh, she is a literary type. This year I had South of Midnight, Expedition, and Silk Song. I had South of Midnight. I wasn't. What did you like? Did you like Silk Song? You like it more than you liked Hollow Knight? I played it for 2 hours and haven't gone back to it yet. Oh, yeah. A lot of people have not been happy with it. Paul, who was in earlier, he wasn't happy with it. He wasn't happy. And so, like, yeah. I don't know. A lot of people are looking to Reanimal, which I get it. But four of my games that I was most looking forward to this year did not launch this year. So maybe that also has something to do with it. But yeah, South of Midnight just came and went. There's so many games that just came and went. And I think that's kind of what there wasn't enough time to like fully appreciate it. Maybe that's it. It's like as soon as I finished it, like nobody was playing it. And maybe that's the thing. No one's playing games anymore. Meaning like no one's finishing games anymore. Wow. Zalik, you're all for it. You're all for it. All right, y'all. Well, I am gonna probably hop off here. Thank y'all so much. Doing a little Orcs Must Die on Saturday. Doing a little bit of Mario Kart and Sonic on Sunday. So I'll see you then. Hopefully I can get some rest. I'm not happy with it. It just feels a lot more of the same and got drowned by other games. I was playing like Pokemon, Vampire. Yeah. See, that's the only one. Like I created time for it. So who knows? You playing Game Pass? How can you playing Game Pass? Is Darksiders 4 next year? No, I don't think so, Simpleton. I think Darksiders 4, if I had to guess, is 2 years away. Because it seems like they just did the preview trailer. So I would imagine they have to give us like a game trailer and then like a year after that is launch. So I don't see it. Especially coming from Embracer Group / Gunfire Games. I don't see it. Now Remnant 3 would be cool. They came out with that. That would be cool. Ressa, thanks again. No worries. I'm sorry to get back to it. Yeah, me too. All right. I will see everybody. And as always, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the plane. All right. Take care, y'all. I will see you on the next one.